everyone, you're welcome to this space. So on this episode, we have two very distinguished guests with us, and they are going to be dealing with a very intentional, important, dynamic topic that you wouldn't love to miss. So before we get into the topic, let's introduce our special guests. So I will say a little bit about them because I'm overexcited. I'm so excited that I can't even wait to let them introduce themselves. So I have here with me Mr. and Mrs. Forgive me if I pronounce the name in an unacceptable manner, dear people, but they will forgive me, I know. So we have Mr. and Mrs. EHIS. Did I get it right? I've tried my best. So they are the the founders, CEOs of a very big global brand, Express Global Services. This brand is like one brand that is an inspiration to me and a lot of people in my circle. So they deal with so many services that cuts across medical, personnel, education, everything that rotates around the medical field when it comes to. I'll leave them to do justice to the details, but I told you before, I'm so excited, and this business has gone from one little business to a global brand, and I'm so excited to have them today. So please, Mr. and Mrs. EHIS, can you please introduce yourself to our audience and tell us a little bit about Express Global Services?
Okay, Prashna, you are basically flattering us. So.
No, I'm not. I'm serious.
Well, basically, first of all, let me sincerely appreciate you for what you have been doing on your channel, and also thank you for the opportunity to also be able to grant this interview. By the way, my name is EHIS. Many of my community does know me, although sometimes my face can be very elusive. But all the same, we are here. Business-wise, we've been growing steadily. Maybe we'll get to talk about it much more later, where we'll be able to expatiate on the various arms and what have you. So basically, my name is simple. He's very humble and gentle. And my wife can do introduction for herself.
Hello, people. My name is Stella. So we're part of Express Med Global. I don't really call myself a CEO. I just say we are part of a brand that is ready to give impact to people. So I'm really, really grateful to be here. And thank you, Precious, for bringing us to your channel. I can see what you're doing on your channel, and it's very, very good and very insightful. Thank you.
Please don't mind them. They are not part of anything. They are the CEOs. Like, not them on the company. Go. Plus, give credit to whom credit is due. That is my own logo. So, now you know the dimension that we're going today. So today we're going to be learning a lot from these business experts. They're going to be talking to us a lot on, I believe in evidence. So I've seen them grow. I didn't even, I wasn't even opportune to, witness when it all started. But just in like 3 years or 4 years space, I've seen them grow so massively that I can write a book. So we're going to be talking about tips. We're going to just be getting some tips from them, like how are you able to do this? How are you able to do this? How are you able to do this? So Mr. EHIS, can you please, first of all, tell us, go broader into what Express Global Services does, if you can remember. I know there are so many services. You can tell us just a bit, so that, because some of us might need the services, and so.
Okay, you said expert. Basically, we are not expert. We are still learning through the process. Business can be very, very dynamic. So we understand that dynamism of a business. So we are trying to get ourselves used to the niche. Basically, Express Med Global Services is basically centered around helping people. It's been our dream to make life easy for people, whether in the initially we began from the medical profession. Gradually, we are extending our horizon to cover for all professionals. So, about a few years ago, while we were still back then in school, my wife, or who was my very close friend that time, I could remember back then they would say, Stella, so many talk in my class. So we heard so many things. Some persons will say, oh, friendship in school ends in school. And then thereafter, we made it like a progression to a relationship towards the latter days of our school years. Then we hear so many stories like, oh, if you date your friend, everything ends in the school gate. So this was a bit funny, but she's been there for me right from the very start. I could remember that the business we call business today didn't just start as a business. It actually began like she was selling Fusca in class, you see. So I could remember back then when students want to write their tests, so she will always buy a Fusca sheet and sell for others, because we were thinking, how do we really make a niche? But all those knowledge were quite useful. Then thereafter, we got into selling of egg growing class. Can you imagine?
Wow.
I've been selling
Wow.
So we did all those things.
Wow.
Sometimes we got laughed at by our colleagues, but my classmates were equally supportive as well, because they were the first set of people to patronize our services. And then thereafter, upon our graduation, or towards the latter phase of our school, we started this express parcel services. Basically, express parcel services was our first business boom. Like, it was a boom, kind of, because we were not just concerned about parcel services. And what actually led up to that was, originally, when we started, we were supposed to submit parcel services to other brands, and the document that we were meant to submit was not submitted, and these people never gave us any call. Even when we tried to explain to them that they didn't submit our document, what they did was to remove us from their group. So I communicated with my colleague, Jide, the person of Jide, because I have a niche there. We're very close friends. Jide, Stella, Esther. So it was like 4 of us that were very close in the club. I communicated with Jide and Stella. Then we started off with Express made parcel services. So the business was kind of unique in the sense that many parcel services was all about, oh, we're gonna help you submit your document, do this and do that. But we took it to the extra level. The extra level was we started supplying them with past questions, how to do our due diligence to help. Really were genuinely interested in helping people. I think our first encounter was during the parcel services where we helped you to make submission.
And book a room. Yeah.
And then we actually added accommodation services to our parcel services, because in time moving from one state to another don't have where to stay. So we were basically solving all those things back then in the country. And you know, in every business, if you genuinely want to solve a problem for people, money will come along. So money is not always the first thing, but money comes along all in all. So eventually, when we were able to sort that major aspect, we felt there is need to explore other niche. So while we were watching over the niche that were available, then the need to relocate actually came aboard. So watching my colleague that have relocated, share their experiences, I felt it's quite important that we to give it a shot. My wife and I started the journey, I think 2019 or 2018 or
Yeah, I think 2019.
Yeah, so she was lucky enough to get the journey going before me, and she relocated before I did. But we studied together, unfortunately. Not that I wasn't good. For those of you that will be looking at me and say, oh, because he wasn't that intelligent. No, I was super intelligent. If you study the course I did and then graduated with a CGPA of 4.4 something. If they
4.49. Almost 1.5.
so if they approximate, you see, I will have been in first class, but that notwithstanding,
4.9999.
it was not really worth talking about then. But we looked at the whole thing that it didn't work out for me. How can it work? How can it work? I kept writing IELTS. IELTS was my major stumbling block because of the fact that I was too confident on myself. I refused to sort after tutorial. I refused to do everything. I was always wanting to do everything on my own. But if I go and I will go there and then go and have challenge with reading. I will go have challenge with reading. It became a routine to the point that I wrote IELTS roughly about 5 times. It was horrible.
That
I was
doesn't
lucky.
look believable.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's true.
It is what it is. I wrote IELTS about 5 times. I always keep saying it. I keep beating my chest that I wrote IELTS about 5 times because it was important for me to write IELTS about 5 times because basically we've been transforming people's life through IELTS, and I can beat my chest and say that almost let's say the number of persons in the UK now and other countries that have gone through IELTS, at least greater percentage of them, especially those that have their BSc, have actually gone through Express IELTS Masterclass. So we call it the positive bound score changer, where we are able to impact on people's life positively in every angle. So when I was eventually able to pass my IELTS, at some point I needed to sort for tutorial. I attended tutorial. I paid huge amount of money. There were even classes I had to pay like 50k, 100k because of tutorial. It was easy for me because I was into business, so I can easily make the money. But money was not my problem. My problem was the emotional trauma, the challenges, the fact that you haven't gotten it right, and the process is getting tougher every time. So you need to get it right on time. And my wife is not in the country. Then we were not yet married. So you will now want to try to make your way fast just to avoid this thing that. So by and large, eventually, when I got my IELTS right, I told my God and say, I actually cried multiple times with my IELTS issues, but I told my God that I'm going to be a problem solver. I'm going to be a solution to people when it comes to IELTS. And then I started the class. When I started, originally, many did not believe. So saw it like, it's just a random thing. I could remember then I posted it on my alumni group, and I'm going to start Express IELTS Masterclass.
There were lots of negative things.
There's negative comment. Tegbe has come again to his money. He's after money. Some people were saying, what did he know? Does he have certificate? Is he qualified to teach IELTS? And so on and so forth. But some persons equally supported us.
Yeah.
But I did not really mind because I knew what I was going to deliver. Because I have also seen some tutorial before. And all the knowledge I have gathered over the years, I was ready to pour it out. I was ready to pour it out for free. And do you believe that the class originally, we basically launched it for free. So
initially,
we're really willing to give back. So from being a free class, we're recording high numbers, and frankly speaking, nobody passes through Express IELTS Masterclass and remain the same unless you refuse to follow the class.
I'm a living witness, guys. So
unless you refuse to follow the class. So if you follow the class, basically it's transformational. So from Express IELTS Masterclass, we launched Express CV and Supporting Information Masterclass, where we tutor people on how to draft a resounding, top-notch, international standard CV and supporting information. And then from there, we launched the Express CV drafting app. For those who are unable to go to classes, they are looking for who will draft CV for them. We do that as well. And then from CV drafting class, we were able to launch the Express job application, which is still on the developmental stage currently. We are still putting loads of things on board just to be able to increase people's chances. But just as we say, anything Express touches seems to be like the gold rush. So God has been faithful to us. It's not by our doing. And Express
study abroad.
Job application was quite successful to a large extent. which we are still working on now. And then we now also added the interview preparation group as well, just to support people's journey. Now, what we noticed was these people, when they go for interview, take for instance, if you are being interviewed for, let's say, Kent, and then you are coming again for that same interview. I don't want to mention any hospital's name. That question that they asked previous candidate, they are going to repeat everything. So I say, what should we do to help our people? Because Express is centered around help. Even in our employment ladder, before you can join Express as a company, you must be interested in genuinely helping people. So we said, okay, let's create a platform where we'll be able to help those who are going to apply for a job, and then we prepare them for interview. Originally, we didn't add the interview, but when we saw the fact that some people will get the job, get the interview, but they will go and flop. So we now say, well, how do we help them? Let's prepare them for interview. So we add all our knowledge, put everything in place. We have all the experiences. So we currently are preparing people for interview. And from there, we said, okay, let's establish that platform that will have all the past questions. So if people are going to Canada now, they are looking for a better health service. What are the nature of their past questions? They is available on the Telegram group. Those going to the UK, irrespective, I think there are over 200 and something questions now. So it keep increasing, the group keep growing. So basically, Express is center, and it's a free group. So we just want to help as many people as possible. Why this visa restriction, red list is restricting people. So let's see how many Africans we are able to actually target and make positive impact in their journey. There's also this wonderful aspect of Express Med Global, which we call the Express Swift Loan Services. So what we also realized was there are some trusts, especially for those in Northern Ireland and Scotland. So they will say that, okay, we are ready to sponsor you, are going to do this and we're going to do that. But before you can come to us, you will be the one to sponsor yourself until you get to the UK. Then we can pay off everything that you spent through the process. Now people want to start selling their land, selling their property in order to be able to relocate. I could remember back then, if not that we are into business, even when I wanted to relocate, it will really be a challenge financially. So we talked about it. I discussed it with my team. I said, okay, why don't we launch a community that is able to render loan to people for this purpose? Because if you go to bank is not going to do anything. They will say, oh, it's too risky, so we cannot solve this problem. So we say, okay, what we're going to do is let's get community or like-minded people who are willing to support and offer loan to people. And then we were able to launch the Express Swift Loan Services. Currently, God willing, I think the number of funds we will be able to release to the communities spanning to nearly 100 million.
Wow.
So yeah, so we'll be growing steadily, gradually. And there are lots of people on the queue willing to give out this loan to people. But we are very, very selective. Originally, when we started, this healthcare assistant route was also a boom. So we try to include healthcare assistant to the route, trying to support them as well. But there are some persons that actually became defiant. So they will make promises and they are unable to keep to their promise. So because of that, we have put the loan service for the care assistant for a hold, pending when the community gives the approval again. So the Swift loan is not basically just being championed by Otaigbe. It's not being championed by us. It's a community thing. So there are people in UK, in US, colleagues that we have supported their journey before. So they are interested in growing their fund. So it's a two-way thing. So you bring your fund to us as a company, then we loan out this fund, put our modalities in place. It's really stringent modality to ensure that your funds are guaranteed to return. So we let out this loan at a certain percentage. We give them like 4 months for them to settle down into the system. and once they are settled within that 4 months, they should be able to pay back the money that was given to them to enhance their journey. So far, it's been a remarkable process. It's been a growing company, and then we have the baby of our department, which has also been growing sporadically now. This Express Study Abroad platform.
It's our baby for now.
So we are still putting every effort in growing the brand and helping people. So that's basically our central focus, to help people. So the Study Abroad arm has also been growing. Currently, Express as a brand now has grown for just basically STELLA and I to over 40 staff.
Wow.
So we are not just doing the business, we are also contributing to the labor force and the labor market.
You're now unemployed.
So it's basically having God all the way, and the community will support as well. Yeah. And I forgot to also mention that for those who are in need of proof of funds for schools, maybe you want to do self-sponsorship for your OSC or any platform at all, and you need proof of fund, POF, we also render that services.
Yeah.
So it's all encompassing.
Wow.
It sounds big listening to it.
Oh my
now.
God, I feel like, oh God,
Yes.
what's
So big, oh.
Oh my God, it is, because you're like solving a problem from the roots to the end point. Because internship is just a year problem. After internship, IELTS is just one. Then after, what next? I feel so inspired right now, guys. I'm going to, I'm very serious right now. I'm so inspired. I'm starting a company next week. Expect it. No, seriously. This is so inspiring. Like, how? Okay, we'll get back to that. So, Mrs. EHIS, you're going to answer Mrs. EHIS for today's show. I know her name is Stella, but you're Mrs. EHIS. So, how exactly have, it's been years and years of efforts. How have you been able? You were even doing this as students, yes, though it's not grown so big then, but it was still an addition to schooling and studying a course like, the way our BSc was packed and we are learning everything and teaching ourselves and everything. How have the brand been able, how have you been able to combine growing the brand as a business, your personal life, your career? Because it's not like you are doing business alone, like you have a career party, and the career party is not even joking at all. It's like everybody knows. So first of all, you tell us like what your career is, then you now tell us what tips can you share with us that you say, okay, this is what has helped me, this is how I've been able to navigate. We'll start with you, then if there's anything that is remaining, he will now add up. So how have you been doing this? Because I need that grace, please. I need that grace, sincerely.
I'll say basically we started Express Medicine after we graduated. Like I think it was like a week after we finished our exam, or 2 weeks after. We've always like had this zeal of wanting to like do something, making a difference, wanting to help people. I wanted to go beyond the normal. You understand? Even while we were doing small businesses while we were in school, it's always like, okay, then like I always tell people, they have different phases in life. We've got the physiological needs, you've got the psychological needs. You build up slowly. So it's also with you wanting to satisfy your physiological needs. That was your survival needs at that initial time when you were in school, because you know how it is back home. The struggle is not easy. And then when your family have like 6 children, for you to even get money to feed even your school fees is not so easy, and cost of living keep going up. So we started to look for ways to generate income to help ourselves and to also build up, and then to learn the hooks and crooks of business. And like business, they always say, if you don't start, you can never know how it is. So we started with we start with the sales and all that, and then okay, this way is okay, but is it giving us what we want? You understand? So from there, you then begin to learn things like reading books. I know you guys know about that. Everybody knows about reading books. You've got to read books, build your mind. You got to read books, like give yourself a target. You know what? I think one thing that really helped us then was when we started Express Med Intent, Mr. Isa, Mr. Jide, we give ourselves a target. Every week we finish a book.
Wow.
Like we have a meeting after to discuss the book that we read. It was so good. I mean, we don't do it now because of so many things, but then the knowledge we got then was so inspiring. Like, I remember when I went to Kano, even if I don't do it, I must finish a chapter of a book then. So many books then. Rich Dad Poor Dad, Retire Young, Retire Rich, The Cash Quadrant, so many. You just read them.
Today, I've not still been able to finish Rich Dad Poor Dad.
So you just read them. Then later, when we went into itself, the Express Med and begin to grow it, you also understand one thing, that a tree can make a forest. And when you are building a business, you've got to look at how can I be able to, my business will run without me being there. Your business has to run without you being there, but you are still there.
Yeah.
You understand? So it gives you time to be able to do other things. So while you are building that, you begin to build a team, because you can't be a one-man army. You've got to have a team. So it's not us that makes it easy. Like, I will not say it's easy. It's not easy. It's very, like, it's challenging. Like, how do you manage your family time? It's not easy. That's the truth. Because when you leave work, you come back, you have another stuff you need to be sure your business is running well and all that. But when you have a team that you can rely on, a team that you've built, like the team of people you've built, that you've invested in them. My brother always said the best people to invest in is humans. You've invested in them. You've built it very strong. You've also built a system that works. So two things, a system and a team. You built a team, you built a system that works. And then okay, even if I'm asleep, people are working. Even if I go somewhere, people are working. And these people, when you're also selecting people, you have to select people that are really interested in growth. You understand? And you'll also be interested in them. Because if you're not interested in them, people will feel like, oh, so we are only working for you. You're not interested in us. So if you make them know you're interested in them, they'll keep wanting to do things, because they know you're not only about yourself, you're also about them too. It's just, you can't take everything. Say give. Wow. You can't just take. You need to give them as well too. So it's not us, it's our team. Our team has been good.
Wow.
That's all I could say. That's
wow. I think I'll just have to go back, watch this podcast, get my pen, and then begin to take lessons, because I mean, like, how do you get time for like the family part? Do you make like timetables, like, okay, we have family time, like, as in, I don't know.
I know, like they always say, like, you've got to marry who you understand, or who you flow with. You understand? To some people, I mean, I'm not the person that likes to go out very well for fun. I can be indoor all day, same as him. You understand? But our fun comes in where we talk about our business. I'm not even, some people think we're joking, but it's the truth.
That's weird.
That's very weird. It's true, but we have fun when we talk about our business, when we are thinking about stuff to do. But then when we want to have things outside, because you need to balance your life, obviously, we want to have things outside business, then we tend to say, okay, maybe in a week, in a month, at least there'll be a day we go out to have things about, or maybe there's a day we'll watch a movie, like or the day we just go and visit people. You understand? So those are how we catch up with family time. And then in terms of, we don't have kids yet, so you cannot ask us how we're going to raise kids. When that time comes, we'll think about how we'll pass that hurdle. But everything's all about time management. You know that, okay, you've gone to work, you come back home. When you come back home, you sleep. I mean, we've been together for so long that we already understand each other. Okay, we
built a routine.
we know when to eat. You understand? You eat, you sleep, you wake up, you back to your business, and then we have our own fun about what we do for fun. Just to some people, it's a boring life, but to us, we feel satisfied at the end of the day.
Wow.
I don't know, but I can always say, follow who you connect with, and that's all I can say.
Wow. So this is both a business class and marriage class. So you guys are getting double for one. So I'm not sure we're going to exhaust this list, but let's just try. So even in the time you've come here in the UK, you've been able to do externally from your business, you've been able to like do something, like you've been able to get a home, your own home, you've been able to like do other things, like generally, not like really the steps. Like, what tips would you say, like what tips like worked for you to be able to make such stride? What tips would you say, okay, for those of us, of course, that are here now and we want to learn, we want to, okay, what can we do better? What can we start doing now to be able to, in future time, be able to make this kind of growth or take this kind of step? Are there any tips that you can share?
Okay, for me personally, before we got our house in the UK, I think it all still revolves around what our central focus in business is all about. So our house is basically because of the fact that we wanted to make it like a supportive home for our community and also to make a business out of it. So originally we knew that a red list is really red listing everybody. We have a community, like we interact with people almost all the time. So we knew that people are really in distress. So we thought of, okay, how do we support these people in our little way? So Stella and I, we are basically not your regular couple.
I'm not even joking.
So we, in as much as we encourage you to come to the UK, we are not encouraging you to come to the UK just because of work alone. We are just telling you, come to the UK so that you can broaden your horizon, save financially, and be able to establish, either you are establishing back home or you are establishing in the UK. So for some, it will be best to be done in two different places. Now, going back to the question, what are the tips? It all depends on your intention in the first place. Ours was to support those coming for Oskid and what have you. So we bought our first house. We started bringing people in. Those who are aiming for accommodation, they don't have where to stay. They are thinking, where should we stay? This, that. So we made those places available for them at an affordable rate to an extent. So we also tend to prepare them for the Oskid, because we are trying to make it full time now, launch the Oskid brand professionally. But we prepare them with our little knowledge, and being that I am currently working with the tutoring aspect of the Oskid team, which is the OSCE team. So being that I'm already a part of the system, so we know what is required. So we prepare them, and then once they finish their exam, their contract ends, they go back home, because the new law says that you will go back home before coming back. So they go back home, and then they are able to find their footing. And then thereafter, we extended it to, helping our fellow colleague coming back home who are looking for a place to stay, and so on and so forth. But basically, it's not your regular house of, we are just accommodating people. It still revolves around business. But the business is, let's solve people's problem genuinely. So far we've been solving that. Then for me, tips I will always say is, when you get to the UK, first of all, settle down. If you are not married yet, get married, because two heads are better than one. Don't take too much expenses, especially when it's not relevant. Watch YouTube video, listen to podcasts like this now. It's going to help you, because if you don't expose yourself to knowledge, you are always after oh, I don't want to subscribe to his channel, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. You're actually doing yourself, because it costs you nothing to subscribe to
So
somebody's
subscribe
channel.
to this channel that
So-
you're watching now.
So
Or
it will
podcast.
be wisdom for you to subscribe to this channel, because if you subscribe to the channel, information is power. Basically, all we have achieved as a brand is solely because of information. So
Sure.
what you don't know is what
Me,
is
we're not there
separating
yet,
you.
though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely. But what you don't know is what is denying you of getting to that point where you want to be. When you have that knowledge, everybody will become big men. But everybody cannot be big men, because some people will refuse to consume knowledge. So that be for me. That basically it. Put your structure in place. If you want to save. If it's true business you want to go to business. But you know you're on a contract with NHS if you are working in the UK. So you now have to devise your plan and say, okay, how do will I be able to strategize and accommodate everything all in one to be able to solve my desired goal. Having a goal is very important. When we came to the UK, it was part of our goal to buy our house. Now, I think I was just a year, and in my first year, that was when we bought our first house. So she was going for her second year. So it was really structured. You don't need to stay in the UK for ages before you'll be able to buy a house, really.
So another thing I want to say is also have good people around you that can give you advice in terms of people that have done it before. Don't just lock yourself in a shell.
Very
You
important
need to
as well.
interact with people. You can't
Okay.
just say people don't like you. Like there's a book I read, it says if you smile at people, people smile at you. If you frown at
Yeah.
people, people frown at you. So you can't just say you don't know information. It's because you're not asking the right questions. You're not mixing with people. At times you don't just go there to just also search for information. You go there to like mix with people, but then be careful as you are mixing as well. Make sure you're mixing with the right people that are giving you the right information. Also, like you said, reading books, right?
Yeah.
Reading books
books,
and all
very
that's
important.
very important, because at times maybe you've tried, or maybe really you're not the type of person that can interact. You know that the internet has made things easy. If you know you cannot interact, then you've got to read. That's another thing. So you've got to read. Then one other thing I want to say is it's wanting to plan, it's wanting to act. So you've got to put your plans into actions. It's very important. You've got to, in the UK, once in the UK, although since I was a baby, like I say, I don't know why I have a spirit of calculating. I've tried to cut it down so well, because at times it can get really overbearing. But it's always good that when you are especially in a country like UK, you've got to sit and plan your expenses. You've got to sit and plan your income. You've got to say, okay, when they pay me my salary, what do you do first? Pay yourself first. Some people will be like, oh, how do we survive? My dear, forget that thing. You pay yourself first. I was speaking to one of my colleagues who currently is in debt of over £10,000, and you won't even blame her. She had to pay for her father's sickness, even if the father died at the end of the day. But £10,000, and she said, I asked her, how long will you pay this? She said it will take up to 5 years for her to pay it. I'm like, so are you even saving at all? She said no, that she cannot even think about it. I said, so for the next 5 years, you'll be slaving yourself. She said, yes. I said, you can't do that. You can't be my friend and do that. She was like, well, I said, the first thing you need to do when you are paid your salary is to take a portion of your salary and pay yourself. That's the first thing. Even if it's not a big amount, you take, even if it's £500, even if it's £300, even if it's £100, even if it's £50, you take it and you pay yourself. Now you are paying yourself, that money is not for you to eat. That money is your investment money, and that is the money that we use to replicate and replicate and replicate and replicate. If you put that money in any investment, make sure you are not touching that money. In fact, blind your eyes to that money. You don't even know what's happening to that money. Close your eyes from it. Then the remaining part of your money, the truth is, if I give you £200 to survive in a month, you don't know how you will survive, but you will survive with that money. It just happens that way. You just
It's
survive
true.
with it, and that's the truth. So what if I tell somebody they pay you £2,000 today? What if that month they did not pay you £2,000, they paid you 1,500? Will you die? That's the question I asked the person. He said, no, I will not die. Good. You know you will not die. So why don't you tell yourself they paid you 1,500 rather than 2,000? Or why don't you tell yourself they paid you 1,900 rather than 2,000? Then you save £100. Then the remaining amount of money you cannot share. It's like, okay, if you're giving to your family, this percentage for my family. If you're paying tithes, this percentage is for tithes. This percentage is for bills and expenses. Then this percentage is for miscellaneous. That thing that will just hit you like this, you will not even know. So that's when that thing hits you, you will not go and touch that one that you saved. Then you now also say, okay, I need to enjoy my life, which is the facts. So even if it's tiny bit of money you save to, and you just have to be strategic. You don't need to be too greedy about it. Like, okay, even if it's 10% that you save for yourself, just ensure that that is the most important thing you do, just for the future. It's very important for the future. No matter what, I don't even see it as an excuse for anybody. There's nobody that will give me an excuse. Not anybody wants to tell me you've got to pay yourself first before any other person, before any other thing, before even your expenses. You pay yourself first. Then you can decide to look at that money. Then you now sit and say, okay, how then do I go into this? I want to do this. You begin to look at the thing. Okay, what are the steps? Is there a way I can get it cheaper? Is there a way I can be sponsored? Is there a loan I can get? Is there a way that people have been doing it that is making it easier? You understand? Then you start. You understand? So it's all about knowing how to ration yourself, get ready, and plan yourself. Even if you have a debt that you are owing, pay yourself first. Then you tell the person that you are owing. I'm not advising anybody to owe anybody. You just say, I'll be paying you £50. Say I pay my money fully, but rest assured I'll complete your money. So
yeah, so so for me, basically what she's saying is the right thing. Now for the debt, if you are owing debt, don't go and owe debt to. If you owe anybody debt, some debt are kind of tricky. So if you owe debt, pay your debt, but pay yourself first. Should work in every other angle. So there's this rule of pay and play. I was told in by one of my uncle while I was still in school then. His name was Uncle Samuel. I'm still looking for that man. So he taught us the rule of play and pay. So you see that you are willing to play now and pay for it later, or you are willing to pay for it now and play later. So basically, if you misappropriate your funds now, you use your money anyhow, you want to flex because your colleague are flexing. Yeah, you can flex, but it's structured. You don't expect to be living an extravagant lifestyle when you are not yet extravagant. You cannot be doing NHS work and then you'll be in US, be in France, every year you have 3 places you are traveling to. You understand? And these are funds. These are funds that could have been sent to something much more important. So if you look at the way life was, you don't just get rich overnight. Unless even those who win lotto, history have it that they eventually end up misappropriating the funds. So if you look at wealth, for those who are wealthy, they have traces. The traces is simple. If you have funds, put those funds to use, let those funds increase. Don't be too scared. Many people are too scared. Even our switch to low services that we are running currently. Some persons, if you tell them about, there's an opportunity for you to increase your money, but this money needs to first of all be sent an errand, and that errand is help another person, and it will increase. This one is not like rent that help or give help like MMM of those days, but this one is a practical business.
Mathematics.
Yes. So you can see it that it can work, but some people will still be doubtful. They will keep their money in the bank. But the others who take the bold step will see their £1,000 grow to £1,300 within 4 months.
Wow.
You understand? So if you leave your if you leave your money in the bank, I'm sure
it will still be 1,000 after a year.
Some person it will just be £5 additional fund added, some £10. But these are leverage. Now, if it's shift you are always going for, you have sat at home now. This money has grown for you. You understand what I mean?
It's
So
true.
those are the
It's true.
mechanisms put in place in growing wealth. But if you don't put all those mechanisms in place, you are just sitting down and the money you use your whole body to work for the NHS, and then you say you are going for a summer vacation today in France, tomorrow in
Belgium.
You are moving everywhere. You think you are really enjoying. Yes, of course, it seems you are enjoying. But the truth is, in the future, 50 or 40 years from now, ask yourself, will you still be able to maintain that work
Lifestyle.
ability where you still have to work consistently to solve your lifestyle problem? So those are some of the things people really need to necessarily put into consideration. We are actually trying to see. It's just that personally, I'm not the video type. If I was the video type, a lot I would have done for our community, especially with reference to opening a podcast to enlighten people about finances, so that as we are trying to aid their relocation.
Because I'm even thinking right now that you need to come on a different section for finance. I mean, how do you guys gather this level of knowledge? Because I feel like these are not very complex knowledge things.
Do you know that ordinarily I wasn't like this? So many of what I become today, I owe to my wife. So basically, when we're still bad in school, let me tell you some secrets. So when we're still bad in school, I have this notion about my uncle. He was a lecturer, so in every family you have somebody you look up to. He was the person we were looking up to. Want to be a lecturer, want to be this, want to be that. So when I got into, I started originally from plant biology and biotechnology, PBB, and then I transferred to nursing as a department. Then from nursing, from 300 level, while we were trying to transfer, she was also transferring from Agric. So we met in the process. I was more like the vocal house. I think my classmates can still remember. I was more like the voice of everybody trying to speak up. Let's see how we can get this thing, because they were saying that you people are coming because of nursing. Nursing is very lucrative now. Nursing will give you avenue to relocate. That's why you guys are coming to this department. We are not going to accept any more transfer anymore, and so on and so forth. But eventually, we ended up transferring. So through this process, that's why we always say, who you marry go along with to determine how far you're gonna go.
True.
So I was always going to be. She was always asking me this question: what is your plan? Then we have not even started dating, so we're just friends. So if you look at our transition from childhood, we were like basically still very young. So she will always ask, what is your plan? And I was having some interest in her then. But if somebody is always asking you what is your plan, then you begin to wonder, what is your plan? And then when you look at your plan, and then you look at the people that are already doing your plan, they are not what you really want. So you will now begin to make adjustments. Then I started saying, okay, what is my plan? Then I went to Google first to go and be browsing. How do people get rich? What do people do? It was weird, but we did it.
Wow.
So in browsing, I started seeing that for you to be rich, you have to read books. For you to be rich, you have to associate with people that are already rich. Me, I don't have really very wealthy people in my crown, so I have to now leverage on books. Now, another challenge was because of the fact that I may not have the time to stay in one place to be reading, I now have to leverage on audiobooks. So I think the first book I actually read was Rich and Grow.
Which that part that?
No, I think
Think
that
and
was
Grow
part of it.
Rich.
Think and Grow Rich was really the basics. We started with Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Yeah.
Then from Think and Grow Rich, I discovered the Rich Dad Poor Dad, which everybody by now should have an idea of. Very powerful book. Then from there, I realized that if I follow the step that my lecturer followed, I will end up becoming a professor and I will still be dependent. So we've grown our business to the point that God helping us, it will be hard for any professor to earn what we are in business wise. So it has
unfortunately.
been like a step by step, step by step. But the sole purpose is not just the money. It's solve problem, money will follow. Many make a mistake of let me make some money. Let me make some money. Don't allow money to blind the eye. The major first step is solve problem. When you solve problem genuinely, money will come. People will be willing to tell people about you if you solve their problem, genuinely interested in their growth. But nowadays, sometimes we can't share ourselves. So that's why we now have over 40 admins. So you know what that means, over 40 staffs in our platform.
And they are paid.
Yes, and they are paid. Currently, we have over 200 WhatsApp groups, like so many. We have
200?
different, yeah.
True.
So we have different Telegram platforms as well. You understand? So we keep growing. We have different departments. We have different leaders. We hold different leadership meetings. The success of Express is a teamwork.
It's
It
teamwork.
has nothing to do with
It's not us
Otaigwe
at
or
all.
anything. But the mistake
Because
people
they already
make
did it
is
from
they
before.
keep coming to Otaigwe. Sometimes I will have over 2,000 messages. I'll post it on my status and say, it's okay, you guys should free me for now. There are other admin willing to solve your problem. And then somebody will just pop me a message, I've left you this for the past 1 week. You refuse to answer me. I'll type you are now becoming proud.
You see the problem. People, what's people's definition of pride?
Yes, but no matter how good you are, you cannot obviously attend to 100 messages
it's not possible.
or 200 messages
Because you
at
also
a
have
go.
work to
Yeah,
do.
you have work to do. You have other
All I can
aspects of
say
your
is
life.
that
So-
all I can say that business doesn't start like in just like one day. It's something that you build over time. Even right now, we still have our some of our challenges but the thing is, when the challenges come, your ability to overcome.
Yeah.
The thing is, just start. Like if you have an idea, just start, and slowly you begin to rebrand it. When we said our job application this year, beginning of this year, we had challenges. We stopped it. We went to rebrand again. As we rebranded, we came back. We started again. When it's been going well so far, but then there was a new challenge. We suspended for a while while starting again. So it's all about you looking at it. You've been able to overcome step 1. Okay, let's enter step 2. In that step 2, there's another challenge. But your ability to first be able to observe the challenge, that's number 1. Number 2, your ability to also, apart from observing the challenge, to work on it and understand that it's very important to overcome every challenges that comes your way. And you cannot run away. Even in business times, you have losses, but you just know that you are building. Just keep going. If it doesn't work, plan A, plan B will work. Plan B does not work. There's plan A to Z. It never ends. Just continue. Like that's just.
I think that's something I'm going to also take away, because I'm an overthinker. I tend to overprocess things. I'm that person that naturally wants to get everything planned out, and then it leads to most times I end up going back. If I go back to some of my diaries, you see visions that I've done, like step 1 to 9 planning, but I've not done 1 step acting. So I think that's also I need to learn how to like
just
start and then grow and then make mistakes, and then I shouldn't like just be waiting for everything to
become perfect. Yeah, I think it's basically something that happens to everyone in every phase of your life. Even though I'm trying to even drive, I know how to drive, but it's for me to enter that car and start that car again. But then the thing is just the same thing. Start it. If you don't start, you can never make your mistake, and you need a mistake. There's no success without a mistake. There's no success without failure. You must fail for you to succeed, and that's the truth. So you need to go and experience that failure so that you can get your success.
Oh well, guys, this is a full course. In short, I've changed my mind. You guys are paying. You are paying. Seriously, I mean, I feel like I should do this like monthly if you guys have the time, because no, sincerely, I know how much I've learned by sitting here and asking these questions and listening, and I can't imagine the number of people that are as confused as that need this knowledge and would, I mean, this is really, we've not even exhausted our questions, but I wouldn't want to like keep you. So finally, to wrap up, what's the secret of sustaining a community? Because see, this one is not, these guys are not, nobody told me about them. I used their express internship and parcel service. They were the ones that found accommodation for me. Like, I used Express ILS. I don't even know what service I did. Any service that was existing then, I used it. So, and then I now noticed a trend that all of us, I used to tell somebody, I used to brag that all of us in our compound, that's what we call it, where we did our internship, are all in the UK now. We all have written our IELTS pass and come, and we are practicing in our professions. And there are people that knew about IELTS when I did not know about IELTS, that have not like had that access, and it's because of this community. And then another good thing, that all of us, we are still maintaining that community. And somebody like me, I'm very, very introverted. It's not just being, there's a difference between being introverted and, I won't say I'm antisocial, but I don't know if it's just because of the way I was raised, that just on my own. Sometimes I used to be like, Precious, you need to talk to people. I'll be like, what will I say to them? Like, when it comes to socializing, I don't know. But then I've found that I've how will I put this in? Subconsciously sustained this community through you. So I don't even know how. Because some of those people, I knew them before they joined this community, but I didn't have the relationship I have with them now. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't even know what the secret is, because I don't know how you able to like glue all
That's
this
his question,
people.
though. Not my
Like, how you able to like
That's why you get the
sustain
answer.
this community? Because
Because
subconsciously
I'm
now
saying
I'm part of the community, and by default,
Yeah.
as in I can't even.
So basically, I think one thing about Express now is Otaigbe and Express brand and Express made global is now more like a household name.
Yes,
If everybody are sincere to themselves, they will agree that Otaigbe has touched my life in one way or the other positively. So even when we came for your son's birthday, some persons that came in here now, some have actually come to meet me and say, Otaigbe, do you know that you actually play a crucial role in my whole journey? Do you know that I will still be in Nigeria? Someone just told me that I wouldn't have thought of relocation because I got a senior role in Lutz, and during this process, I have everything. But when I saw you constantly posting on your status, like welcome to the Queensland, welcome to the Kingsland, welcome to this, welcome to that, she began to ask herself, wait, how these people doing it? Is this same people I know?
Yeah.
Why don't I just chat up this Otaigbe? You understand? Then she chatted me up. We guided her through the process, and by and large, she was able to achieve her dream. Or as we said, it's the first thing is genuinely interested in people.
Yeah.
The first set of people that came into the UK will tell you that the country is not so good, there's no point of relocating. And some persons had a change of mind about relocation, that they were not going to ever relocate. Even those that said they are not going to relocate now, they are struggling to relocate.
Yeah.
It's even much more difficult now. So when we were working on our journey, we try to carry people along. That's one thing we do. We don't want to succeed alone, we want to succeed with the crowd. Now take for instance now my wedding that took place recently.
Oh my God.
Now, if all those persons that contributed to my wedding, if we didn't make money for the community that supported us, we will make like roughly like let's say 6 to 7 M from people alone, people supporting you. Now, if all of us were in Nigeria, trust me, they will have been giving you 50,000,
let's not talk about it.
10,000. So can you imagine that somebody will give you £1,000 as a wedding gift? You understand? You don't get that if everybody is poor. You You understand? So if you are able to raise people, if you are able to raise people, you are able to help people genuinely interested in their progress. So when they achieve their aim, they also support
it
you.
rubs off on you. It comes back to you at the end of the day.
That's it. So it's more like a circle thing. So wherever we go, we try to make it like a thing of let's help people. Now that we've gotten a house, we are educating people. This is how to get a house. This is how to you can do this. You can do this. This is how you can start making money from the UK. Those who genuinely see reasons, they will start doing it. When we're buying land back home, we're also telling people, do you know that you can buy land in the UK? Because I have a couple of my colleagues that bought land in Lekki back then. They bought it like 700,000. As we are speaking now, those lands are worth like 70M, 90M. You understand? So no matter how you say you want to work everywhere, you cannot realize that profit so fast. You understand? So we keep enlightening people that it's through waiting. Either you are investing it. Some people, that's why we keep saying we are not against you going out, flying everywhere, but be structured. Just as my wife said, you have to have plans, pay yourself first, and in paying that yourself first, you have to determine, am I going to invest in UK or invest in a girl? I'm going to invest in both. Because truth is, say, if you have a 4-bedroom flat, a 5-bedroom flat in this UK now, and let's say each of the rooms is paying you like £500, that means in a month you will be realizing £2,500. Now, if you now get your ILR and you now decide and say, oh, I'm going home to go and stay, so you are realizing £2,500 monthly, that would be like 3.something million or 2.something million for just 1 house.
Just one.
You understand? So if that is the case, it means that you can actually be in the country and be realizing millions. You understand? You can get the gist. So that would be kind of, one have to put structure in place and say, this is what you want. Now, going back to your question on how we're able to sustain community. No, community sustainability is a thing of teamwork. So we have a general manager, the person of engineer Precious. Most of our staff are not necessarily in the medical field. We have doctors, we have nurses, we have computer scientists. Some are in the UK, some are in US, some are in different locations. You understand? Because Express Med Global is online based. So because of the trust we built over the year, people are able to entrust their fund to us, still trust what we are doing. So once in a while, we communicate to them through Twitter Spaces, through maybe interview preparation, through YouTube, because we have a YouTube account. Currently, all our platform we are transforming into EMGS, which is the acronym for Express Med Global Services, just to make it easier for people to be able to capture. So if you are consistent with genuinely solving people's problem and not just after what you want to gain, consistently, you will see that people too will be genuinely interested in your product. Because Express Hyatt Mastercard, can you imagine that consistently we are able to record 400, 500, 600 members per class as a result of the quality of what we give to the people. Now, our cars, when you value it, will be more than 100K.
Sure.
So sometimes we just give it out for a token, just to solve people's problem. We know that we can actually increase those prices, but if we increase the prices that high, some people may not be able to take advantage of it. And there are some persons, they are the only person that is the shining light to their family, and they don't have that fund to attend that class. They will keep paying for IELTS. Some will not even have money to pay. So because not everybody have the same funds, so we say, okay, let's support them in a little way. We'll bring our services sometimes cheap for them to afford it. And then because of the fact that, we still have to pay staff and what have you, so it's not easy paying staff, because our payment level, our salary is way above the minimum.
Salary.
Yes, it's way above the minimum wage. So you want to still be able to generate enough fund to support those who are actually putting effort for the community to grow. I think this year, our Express Man of the Year is going on with 500,000 naira. So I think
You just say you're not going to employ me like this.
No, that one may not be that big in your
not
side,
big
but we hope that in the future.
Is it a big?
The one is not big,
So
but
hope,
it's something that we in the future we hope
but
to
there are
improve
other
on.
benefits every of our staff tends to gain.
Yeah.
Even being on a circle means that you know all the
That's
routes
true.
there is to relocate abroad. That's one also good advantage of working with Express.
Wow.
So it all in all is really has been a journey, but
Yeah.
carrying community along is a team effort. Everybody work together to achieve a centralized aim.
And be genuinely interested
Yeah,
in
and be
people.
genuinely interested in people's success because they make really sacrifice.
Just bear
Really
in mind that
sacrifice.
you can't have a business without your customer.
Yeah.
The customers are the main reason for your business.
Yeah.
So you need to be genuinely interested in them for them to continue to want to meet you all the time. In fact, when you build that trust, you can build the trust with them to the extent that at times people will want to say things against us, some people in other group, but it's our people.
And I'll show
customers.
them shege.
I've
Because
seen
it's
I've seen a case where some of the platform that our stuff were sent to, and people want to criticize something, and another person will just say, "Is it this brand you are talking about? Is it this brand that we all know that is solving problem?" So that has been some people has even used our services without knowing that they use our services.
It's true.
Either through parcel, our services is transitional.
It's
From
transitional.
parcel services to IELTS to switch flow services
Sure.
to and so visa booking, all the
Sure.
payment services, what have you. Whether even while you are still in the UK, you want to bring your family in on a dependent visa and what have you, we still do the application process. So it's all encompassing, but we cannot do it on our own. So basically we work with people to make this whole thing easy and realistic. So that's basically it.
At those points, with these many points of mine, I'm sure I am convinced that one section cannot do justice to this because no, I need more sections. So please, if you want them to come back, please leave a message in the comment section. This is so rich. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so
also.
much,
Thank you
Stella.
for what
I
you are
mean,
doing.
I'm telling you the truth, I'm going to listen because I have a lot to take home. And like I said, you have read the books now, you've processed the knowledge. Now it's like I'm reading these books from you. Yes, it's good for me to also go and read my own books, but now I'm seeing the reason why I should be repenting from this, lock myself inside the house and be doing 30 plans. Sometimes a person's my husband will be like, papers again. I can write papers. If you're looking to employ a planner, please call me. I can plan. But that cold feet to step into that plan. So I think this is going to be like a really like life changer for me because I mean I know a lot of things that I can do. I know a lot of things, and I know how to do them. But I know the strategies, I know the steps. Do them. I begin to say, what if? Oh yeah, do it now. Let the what if happen. No. So if you're like me that have many what ifs, that you write plenty papers, New Year resolution 100. How many did you do? 2, 0, 5. Please subscribe to this channel and please follow them on their YouTube channel. You don't even want to miss this information that they are giving out there. Even now that I'm still here in UK, sometimes if they're arguing about something like this, immigration, I'll just straight go to where I'll get the proper information. Please let me not make mistake. Please tell us the correct YouTube channel names.
Okay, so it's Express Med Global Services. That's the name.
Oh, I was correct.
So or you can just say the Express channel. So we are currently working on changing
to
to
EMGS.
But it's Express Med Global Services for now.
Okay, Express Med Global Services. Please follow them on. Inshallah, I will just put it. Maybe I can put it in the comment section. I'll just put it in the comment section so that it will be easier for people like me that are not really techy.
Follow, it's going to help you.
It will.
Follow.
I'm the one that is telling you now. Shebi, I not see my life. My life have changed for good. So Thank you so much again. It was nice having you, and
Yes.
I'm appealing to you that you should anticipate more of these sections because
no problem.
I've learned so much in this night than I've learned in such a long time when it comes to business and finance. So
Well, thank you
thanks.
too for hosting us. I mean, at the end of the day, the thing is we are all learning. It's not like I don't want to undermine things that we've actually been able to do, but I still want to say that we are still learning. We're still in development stage. I mean, we're not Elon Musk yet.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Thank you so much, guys, and
Yes.
see you
Thank
soon.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.